BBC Look North. Good evening, I'm Sharuna Sagar. Great to have your company. The contents of the long-awaited budget have finally been revealed. Among the headline measures, a decision to lift the two-child limit on benefits, a move that campaigners say will help thousands of families in the region. So what's been the reaction amongst our local MPs to the Chancellor's statement? Our political editor, Richard Moss, is in Westminster.
Now, any Chancellor wants to know what the view of the public is on what they've delivered, but Rachel Reeves will also be having an eye on what her own MPs think. MPs concerned about plummeting poll ratings and wondering whether she and the Prime Minister are the right people to turn that round. Now, many of the Labour MPs in the region will welcome the lifting of the two-child cap, a moral mission for some, but they will also know that many of their constituents will be paying more tax to help fund that over the next few years. So has the government got the balance between spending and taxing right? Well, Labour's Bulletin and Concert MP says yes.
I think we can do nothing better than to ensure the children in the North East, who for so long have been held back by child poverty, are able to thrive and grow. And when you add that to our breakfast clubs and the free school meals for people on universal credit and the nurseries that we're creating, all of those things are adding to a picture of reducing child poverty.
But the Conservatives who introduced that two-child cap when they were in government profoundly disagree. Their North Yorkshire MP and party chairman Kevin Hollyrake says this was the wrong call and it's a bad budget for the region.
You're taxing hard-working people to pay for people who are working less. That's the reality, including scrapping of the two-child benefit limit, of course. So a really bad idea. You need to incentivise work, get people working. That's how you lift people out of poverty.
Now, Reform UK share some of those concerns, believing that spending needed to be cut so that people could keep more of their wages. The Liberal Democrats, they do support the lifting of the two-child cap. They said Labour should have done that last year when they first came into office, but they believe overall there wasn't enough investment in our region from this budget. But of course it's the public view that counts the most, and Labour will be hoping this can turn round those popularity ratings ahead of a big set of local elections in places like Sunderland, Tyneside and Hartlepool next year. Richard Moss, BBC Look North in Westminster.
Well, we've been looking at how Rachel Reeves's package of measures has been received in the region, and Helen Richardson has been talking to people in Chester Street. Two-child benefit cap has been scrapped.
Right.
What do you think about that?
Well, it's good. I mean, my family are grown up, but yes, it's good for people with more than two kids, isn't it? You know, to help with the cost of living and things like that.
Some people aren't going to work no matter what, and they're going to have more children, and that takes away the work ethic.
There's been a rise to the minimum wage.
Yeah, $12.71 now. That is better, but it doesn't really make a difference with cost of living crisis now. My last job, I was on $12.77, and I was working in a warehouse job. And even on $1,600 a month, I was still struggling to pay standard bills.
I think young people should be paid more if they're doing the same work, and that it's important that we have the same ability to move out as our parents did. Like, my mum moved out when she was 18. That's not realistic for me.
It's like anything, if businesses have got to increase their wages, cost of living's going to go up again. So what can you do?
Well, in other news, a health trust has agreed an action plan after serious failures in breast cancer care. Earlier this year, the Royal College of Surgeons found that at the County Durham and Darlington Trust, it had led to 12 patients being harmed, and it revealed that investigations were ongoing into 60 more cases. Cancers were missed and surgery was carried out that may not have been necessary. The Trust has apologised and its board has agreed an action plan. A decision on the next stage of a potential middle school closure and the merger of 6 primary and first schools has been announced this afternoon by North Tyneside Council. The consultation's been paused for 3 of the schools, Langley First, Appletree Gardens and Monk Seaton Middle, and the remaining 4 schools affected will now move into the second stage of consultation. The council blames falling birth rates for an untenable surplus of places. A Northumberland hospital has become the first site in the region to receive a sapling from the Sycamore Gap tree. Staff at Hexham General held a special ceremony earlier more than 2 years after the beloved landmark was deliberately felled. It's one of 49 places across the country chosen by the National Trust to receive a sample.
The significance of it is phenomenal, and people will come out here, they'll have quiet, reflective moments when they're thinking about loved ones, and other people will come and just witness it hopefully blossom in the future and really develop up in front of the hospital.
I saw the seeds being collected. I wasn't sure, well, we weren't sure whether they would actually germinate because it was quite early in the year. But now to see them coming here and being planted out and hopefully bringing hope to people here at the hospital, patients and staff alike, so that's brilliant.
But it's time for the weather now. Let's go over to Paul Mooney with the forecast.
Good evening. A milder night to come than last night, certainly. No frost. In fact, temperatures increasing as the night goes on. But there is a lot of cloud around, outbreaks of rain and a fresh southwesterly wind as well. So by the end of the night, most places should be in double figures. Into tomorrow, we'll keep all that cloud. The wind will be stronger still. A gusty southwesterly, gusts around 40 miles an hour at times, but very, very mild with it. Temperatures could peak around 14, maybe 15 Celsius through the afternoon. That's the high 50s Fahrenheit, but tempered by those gusty southwesterly winds. As we head towards the end of the week and into the weekend itself, I think Friday we'll see some patchy rain around, a little bit cooler, still windy at times as well. Cooler altogether as we head through the weekend, single-figure temperatures by day and a return to overnight frost.
Thank you, Paul. Well, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank you ever so much for staying up late to watch. From all of us here on the Late Team, good night, sweet dreams.